lecture is in continuation with the unit 5th of TCCN, which is application layer, and our today's topic is electronic mail. Right? So let's understand it. So as we all know what is electronic mail, we are quite aware of this and we use it in a daily life, right? Like when we want to send some information to one people to another, so we'll use it. Like it is the fastest way of sending some files, right? So its architecture and services, it is, let's understand its architecture and service model. Email system is consist of two subsystems. They are, first is user agent and second is the message transfer agent, right? In the user agent, which allow people to read and the send email. User agent help the people to read and send the messages, right? And message transfer agent help the people to send the message from source to the destination. Email system supports 5 basic functions, which are composition, transfer, reporting, displaying, and deposition. Right, let's understand what is composition. It refers to the process of creating messages and answers. Right, as we all know, what is composition? It helps in creating the message, and also if someone sends some mail to her, so that we can answer that mail. Right. So how we can do this? Any text editor is used for the body of the message. We can use any text editor for this. While this system itself can provide assistance with the addressing and numerous header file attached to the message. System will also provide some information to that. Next is reporting. It has to do with the telling. It has to do with the telling the originator that what happened to the message, that is whether it is delivered or rejected or lost. So what reporting will do, it will tell the user that his or her message is being delivered or rejected or lost. Transfer, it refers to the moving message from the originator to the recipient. It helps in sending the message from the originator to the destination. Displaying, incoming messages are to be displayed so that people can read their emails, right? It helps in reading the mails. Deposition, it concerns the recipient. Recipient does with what the recipient does with the message after receiving it, right? So what after receiving an email, various functions are done, like we keep it for the future use or we discard it, like various functions these are done, right? So various possibilities including throwing it away before reading, like, and after reading, save it, and so on. So right, so we can either throw it away before reading, or also we can, after reading, we can delete that, or we can save it for the future uses. So these come into the depositions, right? Next is the user agent. What is the function of the user agent? The user agent is normally a program that accepts a variety of commands for composing, receiving, and replying to the message, as well as for the manipulating mailboxes, right? So what is the function of the user agent? It helps, it is a program which helps in composing the mails, receiving, replying, and also manipulating the mailboxes. Next is sending email. How email can be sent? To send an email message, a user must provide the message, the destination and address, and possibly some other parameter, right? So we can only send the message only after providing a proper message body and also the destination body, destination address with the proper parameters, right? The message can be produced with a freestanding text editor. As I told you before, that we can produce message with the help of the text editor, like a word processing program, or possibly with a specialized text editor built into the user agent, right? Or we can write any message with the help of the text editor. Also we can write with the help of the special programs present in the user agent program, right? The destination address must be in the format that the user agent can deal with it, right? So the destination address should be easy for the user. Many user agent expects address of the form user@DNS dash addresses, right? Like we know that at the like we have some xyz@gmail.com. Similarly, we need to provide the destination address with the proper formatting for sending the mail. Next is the reading mail. How can we read the mail? When a user agent is started up, it looks at the user's mailbox for incoming the email before displaying on the screen. As I told you, user agent perform these functions like accepting the mails, composing, receiving, replying, like manipulating mailboxes. See, so when a user agent is started up, it looks at the mailbox, right? If some new mail has arrived or not for the incoming emails, right? Then it may announce the number of messages in the mailbox or display a one-line summary of the each mail and wait for the commands. So what it will do, it will display all the unread messages, right? And it will wait ki what is the further operations will be done on those mails, whether to read them or to discard them directly or to store them for the future usage, right? So this was the reading part. Next, email form. These emails uses various types of formats, right? So here the body of message, it uses various type of formats. So here we are discussing RFC 822, right? Message. What is RFC 822? Message consists of a primitive envelope. We know that, right? Some number of header fields, blank line, and then the message body. We know it. We have some initial headers, then some blank lines, and then the proper message body. Each header field is consist of a single line of ASCII text containing the field name, a colon, and or for most fields a value. Right? Each header will contain some ASCII text. Right? Let's see the how message format looks like. RFC 822. Right, so what it will contain, these are the headers which are written over the left, and these are the meanings, right? So to, what is to? The email address of the primary recipient to whom we want to send the mail. CC is the carbon copy. Okay, so it is stand for the secondary recipient which we want to send. BCC is the blind carbon copies from the person who want to send the mail. Sender, email address of the actual sender, from a person or people who created the message, right? And then in the sender field it will come the email address of the actual sender who is willing to send the message. Then in the received header, the line added by the each transfer agent along the route, right? So this field will change according to the transfer agent, whoever will receive it during the route, right? Return path can be used to identify a back path to the sender in case the mail is discarded or some return reply is being done for that, then this field is being used, return path. So this was the format of our RFC 822 message body, right? These were the fields. We have understood what these fields are. Next, MIME, the multipurpose internet mail extension, right? Here we are discussing for the RFC 822. RFC 822 specified the header but left the content entirely up to the user, right? So RFC 822 only defined the header format of the mail, but it do not created any special functioning or any special method for the designing the content or the body of the mail, right? The basic idea of the MIME is to continue to use the RFC format but to add structure to the message body and define encoding rules for non-ASCII messages, right? So what it will do, it will follow the RFC 822 format, but it will add some extra information like the encoding rules for the non-ASCII messages and the body of the message. Let's understand its field. What are the, here I have written like first field, it will contain the MIME version, what version this email is following. Next, the content description, human readable string telling what if the message is right? Content id, unique id will be provided to the content. Next, content transfer encoding, how the body is wrapped for the what encoding is being done before the transmission. Content type, what type of the content are included in the email, right? So these are the various function of the different header of the MIME. You need to learn all these, right? Next is message transfer. How we can transfer the message. The simplest way is to establish a transport connection from the source machine to the destination machine and then just transfer the message, right? So how we'll establish a connection to the destination machine and then we will just transfer it, right? And after that we can release the connection. Next, we will understand some protocol of the email only. Simple Mail Transport Protocol, which is SMTP. What is SMTP? SMTP is a simple ASCII protocol, right? It is used for the transferring mail from one location to another. After establishing the TCP connection to the port 25, the sending machine operating as the client wait for receiving machine operating as a server to first stop, right? After establishing the connection, both the machine wait for this some time. Then the server starts by sending a line of text giving its identity and telling whether it is prepared to receive the mail, right? After establishment of the connection, then server will send some information to the client that whether it is ready to receive the mail, to receive the information or not. If it is not, the client releases the connection and tries again the later, right? If it is not ready, then what it will do, it will disconnect the connection and will try after some time. Even though the SMT protocol is completely well defined, right? So what happened in the TCP was like before sending the mail, we need to establish a connection and we'll wait for the server whether it is ready to transmit the mail or not, right? Only after the server is ready, the mail could be sent. So SMTP is used for transferring the mail. Even though the SMTP protocol is completely well defined, few problems arises, right? SMTP is a complete protocol in itself, still some problems arises, right? One problem is related to the length, right? Some older implementation cannot handle message exceeding 64 KB. That means it will what there are sometimes problem of the length of the message, right? We like it follows the older format, so it cannot send the mail which is more than 64 KB. Another problem related to the timeouts. If the client and the server has different timeouts, one of them may give up, other is still busy, unexpected termination of the connection. What will happen in this? Like if the client and server there's mismatch of the timing, then the connection will be disconnected in both of them. And finally, in rare situation, infinite maelstorms can be triggered. Right, so these are the three main problems which are associated with the SMTP. Next is the POP3. So SMTP was for the sending the mail, transferring the mail, while the POP is for the reading the mail. POP begins when the user starts the mail reader, right? Whenever a user wants to read the mail, the POP comes into the picture. The mail reader calls up the ISP and establish a TCP connection with the message transfer agent at the port 110. So whenever a user wants to read the mail, what it will do, it will establish a connection with the ISP server, right, with the port number 110. Once the connection has been established, the POP3 protocols goes through the three stages, right? So after establishing the connection, the three stages will be performed. The first is the authorization, second is the transaction, and third is the update. Let's understand what these three stages will perform. Right, in the first, authorization state deals with the having the user login. Like, okay, so authorization in itself we can understand, it will authorize the user to properly log in. The transaction state deals with the user collecting the emails and marking them for deletion from the mailbox, right? Okay, after in the transaction state, the user will collect all the emails. After that, it will either delete it or it will store them for its user, right? The update state actually causes the email to be deleted. In the update state, what we'll do, we will delete the message from the server, right? So these were the three stages. Here we can understand over here in the first diagram it is given that like host is sending with the help of the SMTP. This is internet. This is the message transfer agent. Right, receiving host over here, which is receiving the in its mailbox. It is receiving the mail, and this is the for the POP. As I told you, कि when we read the messages, POP comes into the picture, right? SMTP was for transferring the mails. So here till here it was SMTP was working. In the next phase, it is the POP3, which is used to read the mail from the user's PC, right? So this was all about the SMTP. So in the next class, we'll continue with the next topic. Thank you.